Hey, Steve. We are on the road. Monique here, Silver Paw Studio. And if you like golden eagles, go ahead and like right now and subscribe. I keep forgetting to say that in the videos. Okay, so today we're not going to talk about pet photography. Today, Steve and I are going to go see if we can possibly, maybe, spot a couple of golden eagles in their nest about a half hour from here. Someone from Camera Club showed some pictures, and they had to use like the really long lens with a teleconverter and crop in, so they're extremely far away. But I have never seen a golden eagle in the wild. Have you, Steve?
Yep.
You have?
Yes.
Where?
Here.
In Colorado?
Front Range, yes.
Wow. Was it flying?
Yes.
That's awesome. I think I might have seen one once up in a tree driving around the prairies looking for owls, but I can't be sure because we just kind of kept driving past. We're gonna try it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. We just arrived. It's mostly little picnic areas. There's hardly anyone here. And it's probably the wrong time of day. The hills behind us are pretty dark. The sun is would look better in the evening coming onto there. We did see kind of an old painted sign about golden eagles, but I don't know. So we're going to have to go out there with the binoculars and scan. Obviously, they're huge nests. Are you ready?
Yep.
He's so excited.
Can't you tell?
Yes, I can. Let's go. Okay, it took us a minute with the binoculars, but up on the cliffside, you could see a big white streak, you know, bird poop. And sure enough, there's a giant, giant nest up there. It's really hard to see. It blends in very, very well. And it's still shaded and there's no activity. So we're gonna hang out here for a little bit because there's a little lake here we're gonna check out. But we might come back in the afternoon. My friend texted me back and said after 11 is probably a good time, but they're active at any time. So I kind of like, I'm already here. I want to stay. It's exciting. I should mention too, this is a perfect use for the A7R4. It has a lot of megapixels. I can't remember how many, I'll look it up. And we have the 1.4 teleconverter on the 200 to 600 millimeter lens. So with all that reach with the lens and the teleconverter and being able to crop in with all the megapixels, we should be able to get a decent shot if the eagles ever move around and we can see them. I'm also going to shoot with either the A9II, which only has 24, or put my 200 to 600 on my A7R3 just to kind of get a comparison. So we'll see how it goes. It is really hard to see it up on the cliff face there. The sun is coming around a little bit more now, so it's a little bit easier. Steve's got his camera, the A7R4 with the 200 to 600 Sony lens with the 1.4 teleconverter on it, on a tripod on a gimbal head set up to see if they come out. I did have a friend who say he waited about 2.5 hours to see them. They had about 5 minutes of activity and that was it. But it is really cool just to be able to spot a nest even. And it's a beautiful day out. Look at this. It is gorgeous. Okay, and now we wait, right, Steve?
Yep.
We're a little bit spoiled because this is at a state park next to a fish hatchery. Some people take their inner tubes, I guess, on here. So there's a little bit of a dam here, some little steps. There's even little bathrooms. We're a little bit spoiled right here. While we wait, I looked up, the Sony A7R IV has 61 megapixels, so this should be real nice to crop into. And the Sony A9II, which I have attached, has 24. So I might put the big lens on the A7R III because it's got 42. That's a lot of numbers, but we'll see what we can get. We'll just see. We'll wait. Also, I should say, the reason I hesitate to change cameras is because the A9II has amazing autofocus and no blackout, and you could really take a lot of pictures. So I really like bird photography with the A9II, even with the low megapixel count. So I probably will just leave it on. There's one up there. Okay, there's one up there right now, looking into the nest. Steve saw it come in. We've just been sitting here waiting. His camera's not even on the tripod anymore. Ah! It just looks like a dark speck. Okay. I can still see it out there. Just a dot, and it's facing the other way. Darn it. I guess they were out hunting already. They left early today. Okay, it's way up on that cliffside. I need to stop messing around with this GoPro and see if I can get some pictures. So cool. Ooh, we got some of them flying, or her. So hard to see once they land on the dark cliff face though. Oh, good thing there's two of us in binoculars. It'd be really, really hard to see, but so cool. I forgot how dark they were. Okay, gotta get back to it. Okay, he's up in the grass, right below the nest. You see him? Kind of flopping around a little bit. Yeah, yeah. Ooh, that picture's looking right at me. Oh, there he goes, there he goes. Oh, so cool, so cool. Way out there, way out there. And back to the nest. Oh my gosh, my arms are so tired. Did you get them? Yep. Okay. In the nest, in the nest. Okay. 2 of them right now? Might be able to see 2 of them. Oh, there it goes, there it goes, there it goes. Oh my God. Okay, it's really hard to get any video with these because they're zoomed in really far and it's hard to track, or like mine's not even on a tripod, so it's super, super heavy. He's flying further and further away, so maybe out hunting some more. How exciting. Steve, are you so excited?
Yes, I am.
Yes.
Can't you tell?
Look, look. We saw golden eagles. What'd you think?
It's cool.
It's very cool.
Yeah.
Ah! It flew off to hunt some more, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, we're pretty sure there's another one on the nest, but I'm calling this a win. This was so cool. So cool. And I can't wait to show you pictures from both cameras. The A9II is what I end up using, and the A7R4. Very cool. Okay, before you get overly impressed by this fancy setup, let's go over some of the things that we learned. And let's take a look at some of the final images while I chat. So what you just saw was a Sony A7R4 with the 1.4 teleconverter on the gimbal head on a tripod. The thing on the top was just a trigger. We didn't even use that. So Steve was working with this setup, and this was the first time he'd used this combination of equipment. And we're not quite sure how impressed we are with the 1.4 teleconverter. And there's a lot of moving parts when you're trying to photograph birds that are pretty far away. We tried to calculate how far we were. I would say at least a half a mile. Pretty far. If you saw my bald eagle photography video, those were essentially flying right over my head, much, much closer. This is difficult to, number one, get the right focus settings. So learning which of the focus settings to use is difficult. Number two is when the birds are flying against that dark cliff face and they're dark, and then they switch out and they fly across the bright sky. You have to be super fast at moving all the buttons and dials. So you bring the shutter speed up and down and the aperture up and down. And so all of those played a factor. We also cannot recall whether we turned off the lens stabilization, because when it's on a tripod and gimbal head, you shouldn't have that on. So we think we may have left that on a couple of times. Most of the images you see here are from the Sony A9II, which I was shooting with because it's so easy to take numerous images. It is what this camera is known for. And at 24 megapixels, it's easy to take a bunch. With the Sony A7R4 at 60 megapixels, it writes a little bit slower. So in the end, I have over 2,000 images and Steve had about 500.
Now, since we filmed this, we've actually been out to see this 2 more times. One day it was extremely windy though, and we only stuck around for about a half an hour. It was very cold. And then we went out again a few days ago, and again it was fairly windy, and we went for the evening light instead of this morning light. And just there was no activity. And so we stuck around for a good hour, hour and a half, and then called it. So since it is so close to where we live, we're sure to go back out again. And overall, even though we don't have the most stunning images, it was amazing, amazing time. And I don't regret a moment of it. And we learned so much about our cameras and photography. And we just had a grand time. Ooh, okay, what a rush. Oh my gosh, I saw my first golden eagle. Ah! If you're as excited as I am, remember to push that like button. This has been so awesome. I'm so glad I got to share the excitement with you. Oh my gosh, this has been an awesome day. Yay! All right, thanks for coming along with us. And as always, I wish you many woofs, purrs, and TREATSs. Ah!